Welcome back to the Arizona Daily Mix. It's time for my favorite certified financial planner to help me out. Cindy, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Brad. How are you?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I saw your numbers here, and I think I fall into that percentage of people who are not ready for emergencies, who don't have a budget. Let's talk about this. This is amazing, these numbers.
It's crazy. Yeah. I mean, we're the most powerful economy in the world. Why Americans really fall short in understanding and implementing financial literacy. I mean, 60% of Americans today don't have a budget. And really, 40% of Americans today really consider themselves, if you were to give them a grade on how well they know financial knowledge, they grade themselves a C, D, and F. I mean, so it's Americans are behind the eight ball. It's not their fault, but they can get caught up. And the reason I wrote this book was really to create awareness and empower investors with knowledge.
Yeah, and because I'm seeing there that, I mean, credit card debt, $15,000 we are seeing, and that's the average
Yep.
American, right?
Yeah, the average American has about 15,000 in credit card debt. And the problem is if you accumulate this much debt, and by the way, most people just pay their minimum credit card payments. How are we going to get on track to building that emergency fund? As we saw this year with the pandemic, 40% of Americans didn't even have $400 in their emergency fund. So Americans need to become aware, get motivated, get inspired to taking one step at a time and learning a little bit of knowledge as they go along.
So, and I don't want to get in trouble, Cindy, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. But a lot of the people we see are women who kind of like have been stay-at-home moms or who had to leave the
Yes.
workforce, who are kind of like now starting to realize like, wow, I really need to grab a hold of my finances.
Yeah, women today are going to be dealt with, I call it the three Ds. You know, statistically, women are going to live longer, so they're going to have to deal with death. 50% of marriages end up in divorce and disability. But the problem is, women don't really fear this like market volatility. They fear not knowing. And not knowing something can really devastate your financial future. So I have a mission to get women involved, get them inspired to start learning and not being scared, not being shameful because you don't know this. We weren't taught this in school. We weren't taught this in college. So we must take control of our financial lives so that we can build a sustainable retirement and leave a legacy for our loved ones. And really, that's the motivation behind my book is to help people.
Yeah, and so I love that you call it redefining financial literacy, and you're saying the behind that is to make sure people are going to leave, like you said, things behind, right?
Yeah, people need to, every parent wants to leave their children something behind and make the next generation easier to deal with their finances. But the problem with financial literacy today, we live with this narrow definition of like, okay, how much should I save? What is my budget? And what is my investment strategy, right? So, what I've done is I've broadened that definition by writing this book on hidden forces that affect our money, such as political and economic, and these investment choices we make. Because I think just owning a stock and a bond is no longer, in my opinion, sustainable and is broken. And so has experts like Susie Orman, Morgan Stanley, and Bank of America. So people need to be aware of new investment choices to help them not only leave a legacy for their loved ones, but sustain them, not run out of money.
I love listening to you, Cindy, and I love the book. And as a male, I'm like having to get on top of this too, because again, I
Good.
don't have a budget that's not there. And what I like is that you want everybody to be, how can I say, financially literate, and that's why you're doing this great giveaway, and people can get the book. How can they do that?
Absolutely. The first 10 callers, we are going to give you this free book. It's taken me 3 years to write. All you need to do is call 888 210 8777. Give us your name, your phone number and your email, and within 2 days, we'll ship you this book and give you this book, this gift of financial literacy to get you started, get you inspired, and to give you hope.
Cindy, I'm going to order right now. I got to get one in.
Woo!
So we're going to get it done. Thank you for joining us. And again, we have the information on the screen there. And let's take care of our finances. Next time we talk, I will talk to you about my budget. How's that?
Awesome. Thanks, Brad. You have a great week, okay?
Thank you.